disagree on this, and we obviously disagree on her NRA scores. 2014 on, until very recently, she was rated as a D, and I challenge anyone here to look it up.
That is simply not true, and I have the paperwork right here, direct from the National Rifle Association, and you can call them as well. And I have it, and I can tell you A and B.
If I am wrong in this, I will apologize. And I believe Senator Keogh would agree with me on this one, that both of us love this district and these people. We just have a different approach of what we can provide and what we can do. Senator Keogh has worked across the aisle, and worked across the aisle for 20 years. Recently, in this legislation, she's received an F- rating from the Idaho Freedom Foundation. And I believe she's lost her way. As a navigator, as a pilot with good navigational skills, I can tell you, I will never lose my way. I admit that sometimes we have to adjust our course or wait up the storm for better weather, but never change your true course and never forget where you came from. My opponent's voting record has brought us a state Obama exchange. It has brought us Common Core in our schools. It has brought us foreign law in our courts. That is why it is critical to send a senator to Boise who will understand the impact of these legislative actions and not just vote as the governor or the leader of the party or lobbyists wish you to. Now, I'm pretty sure I can outshoot my opponent on a range. And I can tell you that if you send me to Boise, I will work together with other patriots to outvote any legislation that attempts to burden us with excessive taxes, fees, or restrict our actions. Now, the difference between my opponent and myself is vast. I stand for limiting government, while she looks to government as the answers, as she has very recently proposed. And even though the BLM and the Fish and Game have totally failed us in the management of our lands and protecting our forests, she has suggested that we need to bring FEMA into it. And all I can say is, thank God there's no hurricanes in North Idaho. I say this, I say dump the feds everywhere and get our logging industry back up and running to manage our forests properly so that we can all benefit. So should you send me to Boise to represent you, I pledge to support the Idaho GOP platform and not act like a rhino and run away from it. Thank you and God bless, and consider voting for me May 17th.
As was evidenced earlier, and when you go to the National Rifle Association, in particular their Political Victory Fund, and you see that from 1996 until 2014, in every year I scored an A and a B. As you remember that, and remember that my opponent told you something different, please also remember that much of what you just heard is also not true. I'm not certain exactly what the reference to FEMA was at all. If it was in relation to wildfires, I can tell you that there are times when our state and our resources through the Forest Service are maxed out fighting forest fires. As a result, we can get nothing else done on the Forest Service, and we spent over $70 million in the last year and a half of state tax dollars on firefighting alone. Now, does that mean that I support the federal government treating wildfires like disasters that they are, similar to hurricanes? Yes, it does. Does that mean that I support federal overreach? No. I support our fair share of disaster dollars going to fight our disasters. My last 30 years of my life in the private sector is in business management. I have the business skills, I have the people skills necessary to have a successful private career, I am a citizen legislator. That is what Idaho has. I continue to work in the private sector, and I'm proud to say that I work for Associated Logging Contractors, and I have worked with the timber industry for over 20 years. It's a proud profession that makes wealth from the earth, providing products and good-paying jobs each and every day. I'm also very proud to have been your senator for the last 20 years, and I would be honored if you would give me your vote. I am anti-abortion. I support the Second Amendment. I'm pro-multiple use of our public lands, and I am tirelessly on the front lines of our public land battles. My constituent work is impeccable. I've helped hundreds of people in this legislative district cut red tape and do business without interference of the government. Is there more to do? Do I always win? No, but you have my 100% involvement. I've helped get our schools better with accountability. I've provided more dollars from the state level, which reduces the need for property taxes at the local level. I've helped road funding for the needed projects that were backlogged before I came into office, and they are rapidly accelerating because of the work that I've done in Boise on your behalf. I've worked to retain jobs and grow existing businesses, and there are many businesses across this district that will attest publicly to the fact that I have helped them out, retain their businesses, and helped them grow jobs. I support our farmers, I support our loggers. I've been recognized by the Idaho food producers as an agricultural all-star for many, many years. I have many A+ ratings. I have one F rating from a group that's a special interest. I don't work for special interests, I work for the people of District 1. I would be honored to continue that service should you give me that privilege. Please vote, if nothing else. Please vote May 17th. Sean Keogh, State Senator. Thank you very much.